Well, the sun's setting now. I wouldn't know because it rained all day, but it's getting darker. That's how I know. Driving through Buffalo on my way home, I just watched Horn Player take it to new lifetime mark 157.2. I was a little surprised to see Sylvain go out of there and put her on the front, and then go a pretty decent fractions for a filly that choked 2 minutes in her qualifier. But, you know, that last half at 57.1, she felt so strong in the qualifier last week. I guess I really wasn't that surprised. Surprised the way it all worked out, but certainly not surprised to see her do that work. She's obviously hit 2023, come off on the right foot, right hoof, and hit her best stride really, really quick. So very happy to see her. The thing I liked the most about her, there was no hesitation. You know, you remember last year, if you watched her closely, she'd get out in the straightaways and there was a little rockiness, a little bumpiness. There was some of that in that qualifier where she made a break with no hobbles on. And there was a discussion about that. You know, were we going to put them on, were we not? And I'm always going to lean towards if James or Dominic had said, maybe just try her once more, we might have. But when they say, maybe the hobbles, immediately they go on. I don't have any problem with trotting hobbles, especially with her and I just, Sylvain had just called me and said, hey, put a couple of steps in coming into the gate, but caught really, really quick and then never put a step in after that. I thought she was really, really, it was him. Thought she was really well and strong enough for a filly that, again, never trained that great on the front. I don't even remember. The only time she was on the front is her first start, I think, when she made that break. The night that Una Madonna won the race, it looked like she was probably going to be a winner and kind of got lost on the front coming out of the turn. And that night it was very windy also. So she made that break, and if I'm not mistaken, that might have been her only time on the front in her life. So very happy to see her act in such a professional way on the front end, not get lost, not wander around and look around, but stay focused to her work and look very good tonight. So a bit of a surprise, but not in the sense that she won, but just the way she did it and how good she looked doing it, I suppose. And that's not to say anything about her speed. We all know she's fast, but coming off a schooler in 2-1, made a break going in 2-1, qualified in 2 minutes, and then, you know, to blast out of there 28 and a piece, 57-3, 127, winning 57-2 was impressive. So happy with her. And Dustin Hanover, I always want to stick up for Dustin Hanover, but a little disappointed with his effort. Yeah, it was pouring rain, it was mud, but they all raced in it. And I didn't want to come on them first over. He just felt like he didn't really want to get at them first over. And I felt the three of the best horses were sitting 1, 2, 3 in front of me. There was no need to come first over with him. You know, I talked to Tim after. He said, no, where's the 3 is he'll be fine in there. Then it's going to get a little salty. And I said, well, we'll have to make a decision after the non-winners of 3. We can always move him into the class at Stomer Giacatti. I assume at some point he will be exiting that class. That's going to be a difficult discussion with the owners of Giacatti, because after that class, you find your way to that condition race. It's tough to find a consistent class for them afterwards. Now, we do have that 3 and 4 year old 35 claimer they've been racing in Ontario, but make no mistake, that's a tough, salty bunch. And you know, I told one of my partners on Dustin and Larry, he said, you know, numbers 3 looks fine, just like Tim had said. And then, you know, maybe Mohawk, no, 35 claimer. That's probably not where we're going to be heading first. We'll hopefully max out our wins in that class here in Northfield Park. And then if he looks, again, that's a big jump again. You're going from, you know, condition claiming ranks straight into, well, technically condition claiming ranks, but a different kind of condition claimer. This would be a straight claimer hooked onto straight conditions. And it is not easy. It's a class around or just below Unbeatable Kemp. They'll trot right in 55 every week. And I hope that Dustin Hanover can, but we'll see how he does. There's a path forward for him. As I said, non-winners of 3. If he escapes that class right away, back to Northfield Park to race in that condition claimer. Once he escapes that class, again, that's 5 wins away. Once he escapes that class, then we can talk 35 claimer, and I hope he can move up, because I would like to see what this guy can do next fall and next winter. But you know, there has to be a way to get him there. It can't just be we're going to turn him out or eat him until he hopefully grows into the horse we want him to be. That's not likely to happen. So hopefully we can find a path forward for him and for all of our horses. But once they get to that maximized level, then that's how it is, and you guys know that. So I'm just going to get some gas now, and then I'm going to finish my drive back to Ontario tonight. Tomorrow, we're not going to do as much training tomorrow. We could get a training trip in Friday and then head back Tuesday to drone like I want to, but it doesn't look likely that that's to happen. We had some vet work done on some horses this week, some horses that were coming back from splints or curbs or whatnot. So I think we'll just take tomorrow. Punch the Clock is going to train. I want to make sure she catches up when she can. We can get extra training trips into her. That would help. Horse like Great Bet will train tomorrow because he had missed a week of training. And probably Rito's Lady. So those three pop into my head right away. Those are the three that are likely trained tomorrow. You won't see the rest of them train until Tuesday. That's Saturday looks like a swamp. Rain all day. So likely Tuesday looks nice. So hopefully Tuesday drone. And then if I can talk James into it, get in the car, come over to Ohio, train the horses under video on Wednesday. That would be good. And then back to Ontario. So that's what's coming up, and a lot of racing in between. But tonight's racing is done and capped off with a great race from Horn Player. Great to see her find her way to the winner's circle in her first start and look so impressive. So a little bit of a lackluster mile from Dustin Hanover. He showed 28-3 on the end of it in the pouring rain. I get it, but I expect more. I expect more from him. So I'm not totally disappointed. He was trotting okay. I just want to see a little bit more from him. So we have a path for him. Non-winners of 3, then back to Ohio to race in that non-winners of 4 claimer that we have Cotty in right now. And then after that point, we'll make a decision what's next for Dustin Hanover. So that is the rest of your videos for the evening. All done now. I'm going to fill the car up with gas, head back to Ontario, be back at 9:30 and at the barn tomorrow. I'm toying with the idea of training Brace for Landing a little bit. We had Crantini, we had a little vet work done on him, had his knees done in anticipation of his of some heavier lifting, some harder work coming up. We probably move from training him in the race bike tomorrow to maybe Tuesday. I might train him another mile and maybe not even train him tomorrow. Maybe jog him tomorrow and train him a mile, maybe 2.6, 2.7 at the farm in the race bike on Tuesday. So that'll break up him and Brace for Landing's training schedules because they were on the same day. Now one's going to go Tuesday and one's going to go on Friday. We'll see how that plays out this week. Still a lot of things that are very, very fluid, but it looks like the only ones as of right now that will miss Wednesday in Ohio, if I can get James to go over, will be castrations coming up for Widespread Panic and Electric Line. Those two will not train on Wednesday, but from what I can see from talking to Jason and looking at the list, everybody else is green lights from where I sit here on Thursday. So, again, I hope you had a good day. I hope you stayed out of the rain, and I hope you all enjoyed a great race from Horn Player. I will talk to you all very soon. Take care.